been publicized again today. It's a second briefing Chelsea have put out to the media that they are looking to replicate what Mikel Arteta has done at Arsenal. What's your thoughts on this appointment, Mo, of Enzo Maresca?
Big clubs don't make uncalculated risks. They took a very big gamble on this. They watched All or Nothing, Todd Bowley and Iqbali. They liked what they saw on Netflix. And they said, we want this passion. We want someone from... I'm sorry, it's just a joke. But it's literally what Ben Jacob said. He's a friend of yours. You can ask him. Ben Jacob said they watched Netflix, All or Nothing, and just they liked that. And they hired the guy, bro. This is what he said this morning. My point about this signing is that I don't know a lot about Maresca, right? He doesn't have a lot of experience. They tried that before. It didn't work. My point, it can absolutely be another case of Ange Postecoglou, someone I don't know a lot about, and he comes to the Premier League and cook. However, Ange Postecoglou has 20 years of managing experience. This notion of a young manager coming in, we want to copy Arteta's thing at Arsenal. There are two problems here for that. Number one, when Arteta came, there was no financial burden on Arsenal at that time. They got rid of the stars and they told them, listen, get Saka, Saliba. They got Ben White. Odegaard was a cheap option from Real Madrid. Martinelli was already there. My point about that is that Arteta didn't have the financial pressure on him to deliver. While Chelsea at the current moment, if they don't deliver, they are under financial distress a little bit. So this guy Maresca is already day one, you're under pressure. Arteta from the board, there was no under pressure. Number two, Maresca, style of play. They want to emulate Arsenal. Can Chelsea survive 4 years without a trophy?
No.
Well, Chelsea fans, every Chelsea fan that sit here and say, we want to copy Arteta's model. Remember, Arteta, as of now, hasn't won an actual major trophy. He won an FA Cup in the first 6 months, right, with the old squad. Will you be patient, Chelsea fans? 4 years down into the Maresca's regime without a trophy, you won't. 6 months from now, if the guy is sitting 8th like Arteta, you will scream, Maresca out.
Maresca out.
Your board at the current moment, they want to control a lot of things. And they got the Maresca guy. I think it's an uncalculated risk, and I'm going to keep it real. Big clubs, I said the same for Liverpool. I said the same for my club. I said the same for me, for Juventus, for Real Madrid. Big clubs don't take uncalculated risk because it can take you back 2-3 steps, like what they did for it's not one step back. It can take you 3-4 steps back for you to recover. It can work. I'm not ruling out the fact that this guy Maresca can come in and cook. But looking at what Leicester fans say, which is they are experienced, big account of Leicester, they say he isn't great. And also this notion of what people say in the chat, high risk, high reward, that's in betting, Habibi. That's not in coaching.
No, it is high risk, high reward.
I don't.
Can I tell you why, Mo? Let me tell you why.
Yeah, but don't dwell on this high risk.
Me and you agree on Chelsea. Me and you agree on Chelsea and Chelsea's direction. First of all, 100% they're copying the Arsenal model because it's also a Pep disciple. It's a Pep former assistant. He gets me, and he's managing Chelsea now. So they're 100% copying Mikel Arteta's model. Second of all, this is once again, I will double down on what I said last season, which is this is the worst project to give to this specific fan base because this specific fan base has lived in a palace for a period of 20 years. And now you're telling them, no, you have to come live with us in the normal areas of where the normal people live. You're no longer living with the billionaires and the millionaire's son, and you're going to school in a Ferrari. All that type of stuff has changed now. You have to go to school in a Honda and live regular lives like the rest of us. So that's number one. Number two, the second thing I'm doubling down, the same thing that I said last week, I'll say again. December period, you're going to have minimum, like the Chelsea people who do YouTube, all that, who are going to turn on Maresca. You're going to see Maresca out videos. You're going to see titles with Maresca out, all that type of stuff, because they just don't get it. If you want to be mad as a Chelsea fan, you need to be mad at Iqbali and Bowley and the people who changed the ethos of Chelsea. The reality is, you are not going to see a trophy at Chelsea Football Club unless it's the Conference League. I accept that because the teams are crap in the Conference League. Shout out to Win the Dog. Win the Dog has caught so many strays this season. Yeah, shout out to him. So, with Chelsea Football Club, I'd be really worried if I was a Chelsea fan. I'll tell you why. Before Pochettino was sacked, Terrace sat on the football terrace, asked all the Chelsea fans, who would you take? He heard names like Hansi Flick. He heard names like Thomas Tuchel. He heard names like Xavi. He heard the best of the best. They went and they signed Enzo Maresca. And Chelsea fans, because they want to be wrong and strong now, are all acting like it's okay that they got Maresca. It's like, yeah, we got Maresca. He's, you know, he's not gonna play Chilwell left wing and all that type of stuff, all this random stuff. There's positives and negatives to every hiring. I'm not here to just laugh at Chelsea. I'll laugh at Chelsea as the season progresses. When they're in 10th place, we'll laugh at them then. But there's high risk and there's high reward. Because of this work, this could work to the umpteenth degree, where they're incredible and they're amazing and they kick on and they play possession football and all that type of stuff, and it works beautifully, and etc., etc., etc. However, the reverse is Chelsea in November could be in 12th place, because he's trying to implement this harsh, you know, style of football that's very 1 + 1 = 2. I spoke to a Leicester City fan who's a season ticket holder. He messaged me yesterday, chatted to him. He gave me the rundown on Maresca, the positives and the negatives. He says the positives is obviously the domination, the beautiful football, the style, the chance creation. The negatives is he makes late substitutions. He's a Pep disciple, which means he believes in plan A or plan A better. So there's no such thing as playing defensive away at the Etihad. He wants to play X. Style X, let's attack, let's do this, let's do that. So that's the difference with him. And you know, he doesn't do in-game adjustments. And according to the Leicester City fans, he almost bottled the championship as well. Like, they almost lost it to Ipswich, and they were really afraid towards the end of the season. You know, even the celebration game, apparently they lost because he couldn't handle the pressure or something like that. So we'll see if he could handle the pressure being a Chelsea fan. It's high reward because if it works, it will really work. Like, if it works, it will really work. Now, the issue is, Terry, this is where the issue lies. This is the bottom line biggest problem. Enzo Maresca is about to sign a 5-year contract. This is, you want to hear the biggest problem? That's the biggest problem. The fact that he's signing a 5-year contract means that Stewart and Winstanley and Iqbali and Bowley have to ride out now. They have to ride out. It doesn't matter if you're 15th next season, you cannot sack him because you gave him a 5-year contract. So you either believe in this hiring or you don't. Simple as.
I want to say one thing. Any Chelsea fan that sit here and tell us that they're not scared that they will cook like this grand CFC gamer. If you asked them 6 months ago or 1 year, 6 months ago when Pochettino was 11th, okay? By the way, you're gonna sack Pochettino and get a championship manager, they will tell you you're crazy. I don't believe we're gonna do this.
We're Chelsea, we have standards.
A month before today, just a month before today, before the season ended, if you told them, by the way, you're going to get a championship manager, they're going to tell you no. A year before today, if you ask them, you're going to get Maresca, they're going to tell you who Maresca is, right? Maresca now managed to win the championship with Leicester. Does that mean you can hire him? If you ask them last season, by the way, I'm going to give you a very clear example. If you asked Chelsea last year, and instead of Pochettino, would you get Vincent Kompany? They were going to tell you no. Who won with Burnley dominant. Because they think they have standards. What happened is they got a manager that doesn't have a lot of experience, right? They got a manager that already said, I only want to be a coach, which is something I disagree with. This is my stance on this. A manager that is willing to listen to the owners. This is why they didn't go for the De Zerbis. This is why they didn't go for the guy, for the Javi, for someone else who's available on the market, because they wanted someone, which is fine. A yes man is fine. Pep is a yes man. However, there is a yes man to the level of like they can get involved in on-pitch decisions, and there is a yes man that won't allow that. My point about this Maresca thing is that Chelsea, listen to me about this. This guy, more likely than not, will crumble under pressure. As all of us say all the time, you got Graham Potter and he crumbled under pressure. The pressure at Chelsea is immense. And also there is a massive difference between a stable club and an unstable club. If you get a manager like this after, for example, if you are a stable club and you have Pep Guardiola for years and you get a Maresca, it might work. Why? Because he's gonna just copy what Pep did and then keep going the same work. You're ripping everything over and starting again. That's the problem that we're talking. And you're starting again with someone that doesn't have experience in rebuilding, that doesn't have a lot of experience. We don't know how is this guy with personalities like at your club. And as of now, even Cole Palmer yesterday is still back in Poch. How did you have a new manager and he's still back in Poch? I think it's crazy. I think what they did is absolutely, I think it's a big risk. It might work, it might not. But I think if it was my club, I would be already saying, you screwed up. This is an uncalculated risk.
look, I don't know too much about Maresca. I've read some really good things. I've read some other stuff. I've seen Leicester fans online talking about the problems with him. And you can write those problems off as Leicester fans being a bit bitter that he's leaving, especially with Leicester essentially staring down the barrel at one of the biggest point deductions in the history of Premier League football. It means they're almost a certainty to go down with the amount of points they're going to lose, losing their manager. So you can't take everything they're saying 100% seriously unless you know the individuals, because they might be being a bit salty.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Chelsea fans out there, and it's, as I've said, I'm not going to write this manager off right now. I'm going to wait until I've actually seen them play a few games under him. People can call it sitting on the fence, but I've read some really positive things about him. There's a lot of Chelsea fans that are balanced. A lot of Chelsea fans I know that are worried about it. There's a lot of Chelsea fans that are excited about it, but they're balanced in the sense of we need some players, but we could cook, we could do this. They're sort of on the fence with it. I'm calling out, though, the Chelsea fans, maybe a little bit here like CFC Gamer that say we will cook. There was a tweet that CB put out earlier on today. And for me, this is talking about...
CB.
CB's great. I think he's calling out Chelsea fans like Don, Chelsea fans like Ches, who didn't know who Enzo was 6 months ago, but they've now done their research and they think he's really good. They think he's an improvement on Poch. They think he plays brilliant football. These are the same people that also say the squad is good enough to easily be in the top four. So what I would say to the Chelsea fans that are really positive about this managerial signing, that equally think you've got a brilliant squad, there should be nothing other than expectations of being in the top four, winning the Conference League, and coming close, if not winning a domestic trophy. That's going to be the proof in the pudding to how much you really know Chelsea fans back this manager, and because it's been very easy this last year to watch Poch make mistakes, because I think he did make mistakes. I agree with fans on that. Say the players are good enough, the manager just made too many mistakes. And then when he stopped making the mistakes, they improved. You can't disprove that point. It's very easy to sit there and say, oh, you know what, I really like this squad, I really like the manager, but it's going to take time. But if it's an improvement on what you already had and you're gassed about it, your squad's going to improve this summer because you're going to spend. Surely the expectations have got to be to achieve straight away. If not, I want to understand why. I need to understand why. I'm not talking to the balanced Chelsea fans, the one who are saying this still could take 2 or 3 years to get to a good level, because I agree with you, it could still take that long. But the ones that said the only reason we came fifth and not full for third, the only reason we didn't win a trophy last year is because of Poch, that now think they've got a better manager, surely the only way up from there is trophies. So I'm just kind of asking the Chelsea fans who are excited about this, that believe it's going to be brilliant, that believe they've got a really good balanced squad, their opinion. To the Chelsea fans who might be saying, I don't think that, Terry. Yeah, I ain't talking to you. I mean that with respect. I'm a bit like the Chelsea fans are balanced. I'm not going to write this off straight away. I don't know. I honestly don't know whether it's a bad appointment. My gut feeling is that it might be quite good. I don't know whether instantly or in the long term. I've just got a gut feeling about this guy, reading about him, looking at things he said. I think he might end up being a really good manager. What I don't know yet is if that's going to be at Chelsea, whether they have the patience, because there's going to be peaks and troughs. He's inexperienced. Not enough football fans. This isn't exclusive to Chelsea. Their expectations don't reflect the reality of where they are. I want Man United to be the best team in the world. I want us to play the best football and be the best team again. But we ain't going to go from where we were last season to that point over the course of one summer under Ineos. So my expectations are to get there, but I know it's going to take a number of years. If you bring in an inexperienced manager and you still buy young players again this summer, I think you've got to temper your expectations, even if you're excited about what might come.
That's not going to happen.
Can I ask you something, Hussam? Can I ask you some question?
The bottom line problem, because
I want to ask you a question.
We're already talking about win the Conference League, win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, finish in the top four. So this is the problem, Terry. Let's just go back to the baseline of the issue. The baseline of the issue is you're giving this project to the worst fan base in the entirety of the league to give a project to. Terry, everything he's just said, I'm letting Terry talk, but Terry it's indirectly, literally saying why it's the wrong appointment, because of the type of fan that Chelsea fans are. Chelsea fans are not going to sit up here and do phases and projects or any of the type of stuff. I've already spoken to 4 or 5 Chelsea fans who are talking about winning the Conference League and winning the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup and finishing in the top 4. Chelsea fans just don't get it. Chelsea fans don't understand the issue with their football club. It's upstairs, Terry, because the ethos of Chelsea has been changed. And until they realize that, the problems won't be solved. Remember how you sat here on Football Terrace and said 100 times, forget the manager, F the manager, the Glazers are the problem. The biggest problem at Man United is the Glazers. How Hussam said the biggest problem at Liverpool is FSG. We understand that. They don't get that part. They're still pro Bowley. They're still pro Iqbali. They're still pro all these players who have ruined the ethos of Chelsea. Chelsea fans are not going to be patient. Chelsea fans are not going to be patient. If you ask me right now, realistically, new manager comes in, what should Chelsea aim for next season? Honest answer is style of play and a top 6. Development of youth. That's it. Don't ask for anything more because it's crazy. And I want everyone in the chat right now. There's 3,300 people in here. Don't write your life story. Don't write paragraphs. Genuine question to all of you. Who do you think is a better manager, Maresca or Poch? Just write one name in the chat. Maresca, Poch. If you ask me right now, I'm a Liverpool fan. After Jurgen Klopp, would I have taken Pochettino? The answer is yes. Would I have taken Maresca? The answer is hell no. That's the difference. I just want you guys to tell us in the chat. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Who's better, Poch or Maresca? No life story. Don't write paragraphs. Let's just look at the chat. I mean, there's already about 80% Poch. The Chelsea fans don't understand. The problem is the structure. The reason why Maresca would succeed at Man United, and I said this, I pointed out the difference already. I said, let's assume Maresca or McKenna go to Man United. Dan Ashworth, Jim Ratcliffe, Wilcox, Omar Barada. Okay, I have fixed my structure. The reason why he won't work at Chelsea is Win Stanley, Stewart, Todd Bowley, Iqbali. That's why it won't work at Chelsea. You just don't get it. Next season, more than likely, I accept its higher reward. I accept, no problem. More than likely, Chelsea are going to be mid-table by November time, by October time. Come back to this video and remember that Hussam told you on May 29th, 2024, that Chelsea fans are going to come on the Football Terrace and say Maresca out. I promise you, next season, they're going to say Maresca out because they just don't get what is happening at their football club. And until they understand that, they won't solve the problem at their football club because the days of Roman are gone. Just look at who Chelsea fans were talking about. Hansi Flick, Thomas Tuchel, bring back Conte, bring back Mourinho. They really think that this team is ready to win now. They just don't get it.
See, I